You mentioned Andy Ruiz. Just real quickly, what were your thoughts when Andy Ruiz won the heavyweight championship?
I was happy for him, but I wasn't super surprised. I know Andy. I know what he's capable of. Some people who don't know him, they look at his body frame and they underestimate him. But Andy's a bad boy, man. He can box and he can fight. And I'm just glad he got to properly introduce himself to the world. So,
what about the rematch? How would that play out?
It could be the same. So, like I said, great thing about boxing, we're going to get to find out.
We lost someone really great in boxing last week, Pernell Whitaker. Can you give us your thoughts?
Man, first I just want to say rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker. Very underestimated fighter. His defense is something that stuck out to the world, but he was a killer at the same time. The way he put his offense together, his punching power, man, a real killer. And I had the opportunity and the blessing to meet him at the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. And some of y'all may think I'm not telling the truth, but I got to show him some of my highlights. And he could have just been talking me up, but he said, man, you one of the closest I've done seen to me. And I'm sure he's just blowing smoke up my ass, but it made me feel really good. It made me feel really good. You know, I showed him some of my defensive stuff, and man, it made me feel so. That I'm glad I had to have that. That I got to have that special moment with him. Boxing, we took a tough punch right there. We took a hit.
You are fighting your first defense title here in Vegas on the undercard of a mega card, Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. Can you talk about your thoughts on that fight and your prediction?
Well, I'm happy to announce that I'll be the main event on Fox on a Sweet Hands Promotions card.
Okay.
So this is, you know, I guess you could call it my show. I don't know. But it'll be the main event on Fox, so that's free TV for everybody. And I'm proud to be the main event on Fox. It's a huge platform, but also with the pay-per-view portion of Manny Pacquiao, that's a tough one. And I've said in a couple of other interviews, I think it's hard to write Keith Thurman off after one not so good performance against Josecito Lopez after everything he's done in the division. But then with Manny Pacquiao, it's hard to write him off after everything that he's done. And so for me, my prediction is if Thurman's pulling out with his hands down against somebody like Manny Pacquiao, who's so explosive and fast and keeps stepping back up, it could be an early night or a short night. I mean, an early night or a long night for Keith Thurman. But if Pacquiao gets old overnight, which tends to be how it happens as fighters get old overnight, you know, it could be a difficult fight for Pacquiao.
Caleb, super middleweight's super hot right now. Obviously, you've thought about unification. It's July. We got a good amount of the year left. Are we? Do you think we could get a unification fight with yourself and one of the other champions if you get a victory on Saturday?
Absolutely. There's never been an undisputed super middleweight champion in the world ever. That's a fact. And I want to be the first undisputed super middleweight champion in the world. But first things first, July 20th, this Saturday. I'm not concerned with anyone else. I don't care about any other champions. I don't care about any unification fights. I don't care about anything or anybody else besides what's on my plate. So that's all I'm focused on.
Mr. Clint, Phil Boxing, Emmanuel Rivera, regarding your fight, we want to introduce you to the world of both horse and Philip Boxing. Do you have any message for your Filipino fight fans?
I would just like to give a huge shout out to my Filipino fight fans. I encourage y'all and hope that y'all tune in this Saturday. This is a huge fight. We got 4 undefeated fighters on the same card, and as Heidi said, 2 O's have to go, not just one. So it's going to be a spectacular night of boxing, which is going to translate over into y'all's guy, Manny Pacquiao, who is a legend. You know, I don't even have to break down who Manny is for you guys. You already know. So I would just definitely encourage you guys to tune in. It's going to be an exciting night of boxing.
Do you want to tell them? I can teach you how to say. Oh wait, Manny, come here. Do you want to say something in Tagalog to them? To your fans? Say salamat. Salamat means thank you. Salamat with the T at the end. And mabuhay means long live.
Salamat mabuhay.
How's it being a new daddy to a puppy, a dog? I see that.
Nipsey. Yeah, he's full of energy, got a lot of character. He's been fun having around, giving me and Jordan a lot of laughs, and you know, in between training, just keeping us a little bit busy. You know, but he's been fun. So.
How does the fight finish for you, Caleb, in your mind when you've thought about the finish and all that?
With my hand raised and that red belt around my waist, with the announcer saying "and still."
Earlier you talked about being at the foot of the mountain that achieving a championship wasn't the mountaintop. What do you envision the mountaintop being for your career? What does that look like?
Being the first undisputed super middleweight champion in the world, having a couple kids who are healthy and living a long, healthy life, just riding off into the sunset with my woman and my family and my kids, with my pockets full and feeling good inside.
What bothers you most about your opponent? Because you guys seem to really get under each other's skin a bit. What is most?
That he's in my way. So
is it nothing more than that?
I don't like anybody I'm fighting, and it's not because I'm some punk or some mean guy. I've worked my whole life for this. I don't have a plan B. And he's trying to ruin everything I worked for 17 years straight, no breaks, with all the ups and downs. That's personal. It's not just a sport to me. It's not just a business to me. This is my whole life, so it's part of my personal life as well. This is my whole life.
Caleb, is it hard, because you're obviously with PBC, you guys do a lot of events with a bunch of fighters together, they have a lot of super middleweights. Is it hard to kind of not be friendly with kind of people in and around your weight class, or do you try to stay away from them to not be friendly so that you don't have to?
If you're in my weight class, then I don't want to be buddies. If you're not in my weight class, then we can be buddies. But if we buddies and you move them to my weight class, then we're not buddies no more. So
that's it.
That's how it goes.